Every relationship hides a story, and every story carries pain. Welcome to Cheating Stories Insights, where truth bleeds through words. I noticed the change before I found the evidence. The way her hand lingered on her phone, the too bright laugh when she said she was working late, the faint scent of cologne that wasn't mine. But suspicion alone isn't enough. Suspicion is just noise in the mind, eating at you until it becomes a parasite. I needed something solid. I got it one evening when her purse tipped over on the kitchen counter. A spill of lipstick, receipts, and two things that did not belong in a married woman's bag: a bottle of lubricant and a blister pack of Viagra. My hand froze midair. My pulse didn't race, it slowed. The way it does when you're about to decide something irreversible. I didn't ask her about it. Asking would mean giving her control of the narrative. Lies, excuses, rehearsed answers. I wanted silence. I wanted truth. So I planned. Carefully. Coldly. The next day, I replaced the contents of her little stash. The lubricant wasn't lubricant anymore. It was mixed with brilliant green dye, permanent and staining. The pills weren't pills anymore. They were coated with the burn of pepper spray extract. And then I waited. She told me she had a conference out of town. 3 days. The boss would be there, of course. I kissed her cheek before she left. My lips touched skin that already belonged to someone else. The hours crawled. I went through her phone records, her emails. Patterns emerged. Midnight calls, hotel bookings under his name but her credit card. A careful dance of secrecy, sloppy enough to leave traces. Every detail cut deeper, but I let none of it show. When she came back, the silence in the house split open. The door slammed. Laughter, hers too high-pitched. Another voice, low and smug. I stepped into the hallway, and there they were, both of them. Clothes disheveled, hair wild, their skin blotched in streaks of violent, permanent green, hands trembling from the pepper burn. They froze when they saw me. Two deer caught not in headlights, but in judgment. Her boss stammered first. "It's not what it looks like." But it was exactly what it looked like, and worse. She reached for me. "Please, just listen." I didn't move. Didn't blink. The silence stretched until it crushed them both. Then, finally, I spoke. "Were you together?" The question landed like a blade. She knew I already had the answer. That was the point. To make her say it. To make her drown in the truth she thought she'd hidden. Her lips parted, but no words came. Just the sound of her breath, shallow and broken. I left the room before she could form a sentence. The following days were quieter than I expected. No begging, no storm of apologies, only the hollow hum of her shame moving through the walls like smoke. I collected the evidence, screenshots, hotel invoices, call logs, enough to reduce her to ashes in court, enough to strip her of the life she thought she controlled. I didn't confront her again. I didn't need to. Every time she looked at me, the silence said more than I ever could. She saw the judgment. She saw the distance. She saw that she was already erased. And then came the letter. My lawyer's words, not mine. Cold, clinical, final. Divorce. Asset split. No room for appeal. When she read it, she didn't cry. She just sat there, her skin still faintly stained green, and realized the permanence of what she'd done, the permanence of what I'd done in return. Her boss disappeared from the picture, quietly, cowardly. Men like him always do. He would carry the stain longer than she would. Professional ruin has its own shade of green. I kept the house. I kept my silence. I kept my composure while her life unraveled piece by piece. At night, I would sit in the dark, the memory replaying, the look in her eyes when I asked that single question. Were you together? Not rage, not even despair, just the cold satisfaction of a man who had orchestrated the perfect ending. She lost everything by chasing what she thought was more, and I gained everything by refusing to chase at all. The truth came to me like a shadow. I didn't drag it into the light. I let it reveal itself. That's the difference between desperation and control. I was never desperate. Now she was nothing but a story I would never tell aloud. A cautionary ghost. A reminder that betrayal doesn't end with fire, it ends with silence. Silence louder than any scream. And in that silence, I found clarity. I didn't want her back. I didn't want revenge anymore. I didn't even want answers. I only wanted peace. And peace, finally, was mine. The last time I saw her, she didn't look at me like a wife, or even like an enemy. She looked at me the way people look at gravestones. Something gone, untouchable, permanent. That was my victory. Not the green stains, not the ruined affair, not the legal win. Just the simple, brutal fact that I was no longer hers. And she would live the rest of her life knowing that.